Hello students, as part of AKTU Digital Education Initiative, here is a subject VLSI technology. The next lecture on metallization in continuation with the previous lecture, and I am your faculty Sangeeta Mangesh from Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, JSS Academy of Technical Education, Noida. The topic for the lecture includes metallization technique, which is used typically in IC fabrication, and Damascene process, which is basically the new process which is used in case of my metallization. As a student, after learning this lecture, I expect you to narrate the process of deposition, the issues and remedies for the typical materials that are used in IC fabrication, and comprehend the improved technique called Damascene. Now, this is the new technique which is generally used, or this is one important technique which is used in metallization. So, what are those techniques? How metallization functions? Like we have seen in the previous. So, let us revise. The role of metallization is basically as the circuit speed is controlled by the virtue of resistance and capacitance of the interconnection. With increasing speed and device miniaturization, metallization has gained a lot of importance. As you know, when you are going for metallization, in case of semiconductors, the flat band voltage is of important like it is one of the important parameter, and this flat band voltage is calculated or is found out or it is a difference between the work function of the metal and the work function of the semiconductor which is being like where the metal is being deposited. So, this phi ms is very important as far as your metallization is concerned, because it plays important role for actual conductivity, like there will not be conductivity if the phi ms is not properly maintained. A good ohmic contact ought to be stable. When you want to establish the contact, that is ohmic contact, it should be stable both electrically and mechanically, and the contact resistance RC should be negligible. This is the essential feature for any metal contact. Similarly, the contact resistance RC related to the Schottky barrier height of the material or of the metal phi m and the dopant that is basically metal phi m and the dopant density n. So, this is what is important feature, these are the important features, and if you study this, this is being exhaustively studied, and it is found that in case of my aluminum and in case of my platinum, both the case this thing phi b is for different materials, that is phi m or phi b, you can say flat band voltage when is being carried out, it is seen that there is drastic, this particular this is the variation in the flat band voltage being observed. So, whenever you want exact, that is there has to be proper matching. In case of this is the theoretical values, there is mismatch, and when we have found that this is basically being shown with the contact resistance, when you plotted contact resistance with respect to the under root of N d. Now, as your concentration of the dopant is increasing, this phi m and phi s, that is both these are basically very important, and this is why you need to select the material very wisely when you want to go for metallization. Now, what are the conducting thin films? Now, there are multiple choices for conducting thin films, and these choices are polysilicon gates or local interconnects. Now, slowly we are having aluminum getting replaced, which was very popular material in mid 1970s. Now, why? Because aluminum was not showing that much stability because of like other metals were preferred, because aluminum was resulting or giving you some unreliable features or was not giving satisfactory operationality or functionality at elevated temperature. Now, till 1970s aluminum was most popular material, and it was basically used or widely used, and these polysilicon gates are normally like these are being used for post implantation annealing technique. AL gate cannot use for self like you cannot go for self alignment whenever you are going annealing, that is we have seen annealing in last lecture. Annealing is basically rapid elevation of temperature and slow cooling. Now, when you carry out annealing post ion implantation, the metal layers which are being deposited like aluminum may not like it deviates from its existing performance, and that is why those consequences can hamper the device performance or electrical characteristics. Advantage like other things why polysilicon is being used is heavily doped LPCVD can be carried out in like, and that is why you go for okay. Like you can go for AL gate cannot use a form a self alignment, or advantages for polysilicon advantages it can be considered like you can make use of heavily doped furnace also. Whenever there is heavily doped area also you can make use of polysilicon gates. Silicide is generally preferred because you have much lower resistivity than polysilicon. If you want lesser resistivity, you can go for silicide. Then you have titanium silicide, tungsten silicide, okay, cobalt like silicide. These are the commonly used silicides which have been used. Aluminum in alloy form is commonly used for metal. Till 1970s, it was very common material, but after 1970s, when device miniaturization started and the consequences of annealing resulted into some what you call unreliable features being exhibited by or you have something known as spikes, copper spikes getting formed, and that has replaced copper slowly, and the other materials which have been popularly used as titanium, titanium nitride, tungsten, copper and tantalum. So, these are the common materials or popular materials which are recently used in my metallization. Now, typical process involves like what is the aluminum, like till 70s I told you, and in many applications now also aluminum is being preferred. Now, how do you carry out metallization using aluminum? So, the typical process for depositing aluminum involves tri-isobutyl aluminum. Okay. So, you have something known as TIBA or tri-isobutyl aluminum. Now, this aluminum gets converted into di-isobutyl aluminum hydride or DIBAH. So, TIBA gets converted into DIBAH and then you start or this results into okay. Then you expose your area where the deposition is to be carried out and the temperature is maintained at 150 to 300 degree centigrade, and this is the leading source which is being used. The reaction includes okay, the hydrogen reduction or reduction using hydrogen DIBA gets reduced to DIBAH, then you have DIBAH getting reduced to ALH3 and ALH3 finally gets reduced to AL, and you will have AL deposition and hydrogen getting released. In practice, this di-isobutyl aluminum hydride is the most common precursor or is the chemical precursor used in decomposing like precursor that decomposes onto the wafer surface. However, direct use of DIBAH is basically impractical owing to its low vapor pressure and low deposition rate. So, rather than directly using this DIBAH, you go for first TIBA, okay, you go for tri-isobutyl aluminum and then you convert it into isobutyl aluminum hydride and then you deposit it. So, rather than, because these are the reasons, like you have very low pressure at rate at which it can get deposited, and that is why you do not want that to like the proper surface may not be attained, and that is the reason for which TIBA is being used. Now, what are the other things? Now, the problem with chemical vapor deposition of aluminum is that there is no chemical copper in the material to boost the electromigration resistance. The simple solution is to deposit 50% of the total thickness of the aluminum by CVD, and then rest by sputtering aluminum and copper alloy. Subsequently, you will heat that particular thing to 250 to 400 degree centigrade, and that will allow copper in the alloy to redistribute to the entire aluminum wiring. So, what you will do initially, you carry out CVD of, you will carry out CVD of your aluminum, and then you will make use of copper aluminum alloy, and then you will deposit that at the 300 to 250 to 400 degree centigrade, and then you will that will automatically get redistributed and get deposited as and form the wiring. Alternatively, CVD of aluminum can also be like you can deposit aluminum using chemical vapor deposition with simultaneous copper doping. You will have copper doping using dimethyl aluminum hydride. Please understand. So, dimethyl aluminum hydride can also be used, and this is basically cyclopentadimethyl copper. Okay. You have something known as CpCuTeP or cyclopentadimethyl copper triethyl phosphine. This is the compound, inorganic compound, which is being used in case as the resource material. So, you did not have to remember, just remember an inorganic rather than direct, you will make use of some inorganic source through which it can be deposited along with copper. Okay. So, you cannot deposit aluminum directly, it is always recommended that you are making use of copper alloy and then you are depositing aluminum. Now, aluminum on silicon or silicide can lead to detritus metallurgical interactions. Annealing of aluminum can result into dissolution of aluminum into the metal, it can penetrate into the metal and it can form pits, or it can form pits. Pits means छोटे छोटे छेद जिनके like in which that aluminum will get into those what you call small pits and will reside rather than forming a smooth layer. This penetration, if it is deep, that means rather than getting deposited, it will form a gaddha and it will get deposited into it. If these pits are rather than on the thin film, if these pits are like those particular gaddha or pits are somewhat thicker or deeper, they can fail the or they can hamper the device performance, and this can be prevented, or the solution to this particular thing is to dope the aluminum with approximately 1% of weight of silicon. You normally dope aluminum and then make use of it. You can reduce, if doped aluminum is used, you can reduce the diffusion in silicon from underlying surface. So, aluminum has got tendency to diffuse through the silicon layer and form pits. So, to avoid that, make use of aluminum alloy and carry out the deposition. Aluminum metallization problem is not basically like it is not totally circumvented if the contacts if the contact is fabricated on N type silicon, because excess amount of silicon present in aluminum can upon cooling precipitate in the contact, leading to non-ohmic contact on N type silicon because of the crystallization. Now, please understand, when I am using N type silicon and I want to deposit what you call copper aluminum, it gets penetrated, it has got property to get diffused, and that can further damage, because those precipitates can hamper the performance, which is basically aluminum being a p type dopant, it will hamper overall chemical or what you call electrical property of those N type materials. The diffused barrier such as titanium nitride is basically applied between the aluminum metallization when it is to be deposited on N type silicon substrate. Generally, thickness of the order of 50 to 100 nanometer is sufficient to prevent such thing to happen. Now, this is what is silicon which is being happening. Now, whenever you are depositing aluminum, you know, when in case of n type material, aluminum is like trivalent impurity. So, it works as a p type dopant. So, many times when you are depositing on n diffusion area or n type silicon, this pit formation can hamper overall electrical properties of the material. Rather than ohmic contact, it may not form proper contact, it will form a p-n junction many times and can totally alter the property. So, to overcome such kind of thing, you normally put a barrier layer and then you deposit the aluminum, and that barrier layer is because of the or it is basically you make use of titanium nitride. So, titanium nitride is being used as a barrier layer. Another thing or another materials which are being used are tungsten and tungsten silicide. Now, whenever you are depositing tungsten or tungsten silicide, they are widely practiced, or this particular deposition is chemical vapor deposition of these materials is widely used. This tungsten silicide is used as the top gate in case of polysilicon or polycide structure to form the local interconnects. Now, chemical vapor deposition of tungsten is used both for contact plug, that is, if I have got multiple layers, if I have got multiple layers of the metals, I have got multiple, this is one metallization layer, here I am having my devices, and some devices here I am establishing the contact with this metal layer, again I am okay, some area, this area I am bringing out to this is the again separation between the two metal layers, and this contact I want to bring it to this area. So, this is another, this is metal 1 layer, this is metal 2 layer. So, this contact I am establishing here itself, whereas this contact I am bringing on to the second metal layer. If I want to create such vias, we call them as vias. If I am using some plugs for establishing such contacts, so such tungsten plugs or such are very popular in my IC fabrication. Tungsten plugs are the most recommended plugs, or such vias also can be created, which can used or for multi-level metallization. These come very handy. Now, this CVD of tungsten, both contact plug as well as first level metallization, you can use this tungsten, and the wafer is held and it is heated in to 400 to 500 degrees centigrade, opposite to orifice or like you have a surface on that you will be heating it, where you will have these kind of materials, that is WH6 or SiH4, that is silane or hydrogen. These gases are injected. Silane is the workhorse, it will be first introduced in the form, like it will form amorphous silicon, and it will form a pre-nucleation layer where your tungsten can automatically get deposited. So, silane will form first amorphous layer of silicon where the tungsten can easily get deposited, and silane is being the workhorse in this case. Another thing, or in continuation with this, if you see, okay, so you have tungsten and tungsten silicide, this like you have the reaction, that is WH6 plus SiH4. There is reduction nucleation process, and the rate of the process is very high, and the deposition will be done by hydrogen reduction. So, naturally hydrogen getting released, you have to handle the furnace very carefully, because hydrogen is explosive material. At the nucleation stage, less than 100 nanometer of tungsten is getting deposited. The bulk of tungsten will be deposited by hydrogen reduction. The basic chemical reaction is WH6 reacting with silane, that is SiH4, releasing W, that is tungsten, SiF4, and you will have twice HF plus H2. Similarly, twice WH6 plus thrice SiH4 giving giving outcome of the chemical reaction as twice W. Now, you need not have to remember those chemical reactions hard and fast, but just remember overall that as with the what you call WH6 and silane, these are reacting, or hydrogen reduction is taking place. You can directly write down here as hydrogen reduction giving rise, okay, hydrogen reduction, and through hydrogen reduction you are getting deposition of that is resulting into deposition of tungsten onto the, okay. So, through hydrogen reduction process you are having deposition of my tungsten layer onto the wafer surface. Now, tungsten silicides are also used on the top of gate polysilicon to form the low resistance polycide gate. When CVD, it can be readily deposited using the silane reduction or tungsten hexafluoride, that is WF6 at 300 to 400 degree centigrade. You need not have to elevate the temperature also. Tungsten nitride or titanium nitride is also widely used. Okay. Tungsten we have seen aluminum. Then the third material is titanium nitride, which is widely used as a barrier layer in case of CVD. We have seen already CVD of tungsten. You know, there are multiple ways in which whenever you are carrying out chemical vapor deposition, a barrier layer is being used, and that barrier layer is generally of titanium nitride. It can be deposited by sputtering or from the compound target or by reactive sputtering, where chemical vapor deposition of titanium nitride can provide better coverage than physical vapor deposition methods and is more economical than collimated sputtering. Even if you are collimating, even if you are making fine beam and sputtering, the physical vapor deposition comes out quite handy in such case. Now, how the process happens? Please understand, titanium chloride, okay, it is basically chloride being used and it is twice NH3 giving rise to titanium nitride, and this TiCl4, this is TiCl4 and hydrogen, okay, you are making use of nitrogen and hydrogen, you are making twice TiN and 8 HCl. The concern in this case is even the best TiN products are which are being used in this case, you have chlorine, 5% of the chlorine is being used, and lower temperature processes result in higher what you call chlorine getting released, causing concerns because chlorine is very corrosive, and because of the corrosive nature it can damage the other metal layers or basically aluminum wiring. If it is existing, it can damage that, it is a highly corrosive. So, byproduct being chlorine, you have to be very carefully carry out this process. So, alternatively, what is a remedy? What is a remedy for it? So, remedy is it can be deposited using organic precursors rather than chlorine. You use metal organic precursors that are usually in the form of titanium alkylamine complex, and such kind of things can be used. So, instead of that, you have carbon and oxygen in this particular reaction. Since it is hydrocarbon or organic like you have metal organic precursors, you make okay, since you are using metal organic precursors, there will be presence of carbon as well as oxygen, which will in turn increase the resistivity of the material. So, that is very important thing. Now, the last, that is a workhorse till 70s, which is the copper. Now, like 70s was the aluminum basically, now and then that is getting replaced with copper. Now, copper can be deposited directly using CVD process. It has got very low resistivity, good electromigration resistance, that makes copper metallization most desirable than aluminum in some applications. Typical precursors that are used for copper are divalent, okay, well, that is beta diketonate, or monovalent copper, that is beta diketonate monovalent, which is represented by L suffix 1 suffix, okay, where L is the neutral ligand, okay, weakly bonded to Cu. Now, the process of temperature, like the process temperature where you are depositing copper ranges from 175 to 300 degree centigrade, and to obtain good quality of or blanket film, you need to have copper to be deposited using hydrogen reduction process. Now, this hydrogen reduction process will happen, okay, you are having copper as the source in the form of HFAC2, it will get reduced and you will get deposited copper onto the surface. Next, you have copper which lacks the dense oxide and thus vulnerable to corrosion. Therefore, like aluminum, copper also has tendency to get diffused through the silicon dioxide and can cause deep impurity levels in silicon. reducing bipolar gain and causing the junction leakage. Now, just similar to your aluminum, like aluminum has got property to get diffused through silicon. So, similarly copper has got property to get diffused through silicon dioxide and can create form tips or pits or can create spikes. So, in order to have, you always ensure that use of copper as interconnect depends on issues well beyond the deposition techniques. Normally what is being done is, it has no volatile compound at room temperature and it cannot be etched by the reactive ion beam etching process at moderate temperature, that is less than 200 degree centigrade. To prevent corrosion, copper diffusion normally is carried out into silicon by cladding the layer such as titanium nitride or titanium or thallium is normally needed. So, barrier layer is first deposited and then copper is generally deposited. Then you have finally, that is self aligned silicides. Okay. The advantages of silicides is, the process does not, like deposition process does not require any additional lithography or etching. The alignment is predetermined because they are self aligned silicides. Then as a result, in very clean, the process overall is very clean, silicon silicide interfaces and consequently highly reproducible. The process is very like repetitively when you carry out, it will have same impact, same this one. So, polysilicon first is deposited on the gate oxide and see, polysilicon is first deposited and then doped and then form the oxide spacer. This is how it is being done. This is what is being done. First you will establish the polysilicon layer and then you will deposit it, side wall spacer you will establish and then you will establish the contact. Then you will create the, this is how you will create the silicide. How silicide is being deposited? Just see, first you are having polysilicon layer, just see polysilicon layer here, then you will deposit the side wall spacer and then you will deposit the material. So, this is what is your metal deposition. So, you can have the barrier layer and then subsequently metal deposition can be done. Then you can carry out annealing and simple. Another is CVD tungsten plug. Once there are difficult problems to ensure enough the continuity of the contact and windows or wires. The step coverage of this sputtered aluminum degrades rapidly, increasing with the contact window aspect ratio, like window aspect ratio and small design rules. The step coverage, contacts and wires drop below 20%. Consequently, various forms of metal plugs have been developed, they have been explored. The CVD of tungsten hydrofluoride lacks the selectivity resulting due to spurious nucleation and tungsten getting like growth can occur in SiO2. To improve the selectivity, nucleation layer such as titanium nitride can be deposited and then selectively removed from SiO2 area, leaving the layer of the contacts. This will resolve the window height and issue and improve the selectivity. So, this is how tungsten's plug is being put in. These are the plugs. So, you will have windows getting opened and then you will have deposition. So, first is selective W with no barrier, then you will have selective W with barrier line without problems and blanket deposition of W after WH you will find. So, here you are having normal deposition, here you are having these are the barriers which are being done, here you will have with barrier. Just see, this is selective W with barrier without the problems shown in A. You do not have problems, here you are having problems, see alpha and beta particles, where here you do not have problems over here. Here blanket deposition using titanium nitride barrier, you are having titanium nitride barrier here, this is Ti-N barrier and on basis of it you will get deposited. So, there will be blanket deposition happening into this. You have another method, origin in the form like you have a Middle East, basically it is known as Damascene. Now, this is basically evolved in the original where Middle East involving inlaying metal, like metal getting inlaid onto the ceramic or wood decoration. So, similarly just like your carving you do and deposit the metal into it, similarly here also there is a planarization being done, carving being done and then the metal layer being deposited. This is how the metal deposition fills the trenches. Now, see, here you will have first chemical mechanical polishing being done, then formation of metal plug after planarization, then you will carry out PECVD, that is plasma enhanced CVD will be carried out and then you will have trench patterning, then you will have the deposition of the metal, and then you will have metal polishing, which will to complete the this. So, you can have this process in dual way also, one after the other also. Process involves vias, trenches defined using lithography and RI step, and you can have plugs that are filled in the same step as the metal line. The advantage is it minimizes the number of processing steps, reducing the barrier layer deposition from 2 to 1 by eliminating the CVD of the W plug. So, that is you need not have to go for tungsten plugs. So, this is what is the process wherein without trench patterning, okay, you can carry out the carry out the deposition, just like carving you do and then deposit the metal, same way it is being done, you are carving first and depositing the metal. So, once, okay, this is what is the Damascene presses, okay, Damascene, it is called as Damascene. So, this is what is the process which is very important, or advanced one, which is making the job very flexible. So, if you are this is the metal, like you are carrying out polishing and through trenches also that can be layered. So, this, if you are clear with this, okay, if you are clear with this, we can proceed further for the next, that is addressing the problems where problem areas in the metallization, and like to understand those areas, first you should be able to answer these questions, like you should be able to briefly describe the process of metallization, should be able to draw the schematic and narrate the process of silicide deposition. You should be able to explain the advanced methods like Damascene and benefits of the particular process. Once it is clear, we can go ahead with the next topic, that is issues, how to handle the issues related to metallization process.